well, Chairman. It's been quite the summer of change, hasn't it?
It's been a big summer of change. Been a long sort of 2 or 3 years, I suppose, of change across the board, and I think we've got a lot to be proud of, and you know, we've done. I think we've done really well. We're establishing ourselves at this level. We're establishing ourselves on and off the pitch, and I think we should be very happy with where we are.
There's been a lot of talking points this summer, but the one I think we want to mention first is we've increased our pace numbers once again, haven't we?
Yeah, the academy's gone well. The recruitment's been phenomenal again. I think we'll probably end up settling on numbers over 630. So yeah, that's gone really well. I mean, with the A levels and the CYQ courses, the BTEC courses, the construction courses, and the alternative courses. But we've got, you know, there's only to be expected. You know, we ended up being the double national champions of England and Wales with the colleges, champion of champions with the conference or the National League. We had 3 England internationals, and we're producing good young players. So you know, in and around London, you know, I suppose we're probably the foremost, most successful non-league academy out there. So you would expect record numbers, I suppose. But this is our record number for the 15th successive year. So yeah, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of investment, a lot of hard work. But you know, that's what we've built the club on. We've built it from the bottom up, not the top down, which I've told you many times. And yeah, very good.
It's not just the numbers that are impressive, but at the same time, the under-18s are unbeaten this season with 6 wins in 6, including progressing to the next round of the FA Youth Cup.
Yeah, but that's it. You know, again, there's an expectation level with us with our 18s. This little batch of 18s have been with us since under 16s. They've come through together. They won titles and cups at under 16 level. They got to the first or second round of the FA Youth Cup last year as first years, knocking Northampton out along the way. So it's not something that's unexpected with us. You know, this is a good crop of boys. You know, we've got 3 of them boys last year, sort of 18s and 19s, you know, in our first team squad. They became England internationals with the colleges. So it's not unexpected, and I suppose given the investment that we put into them, you know, you can see the quality on the pitch, you know, and as I say, they've won 6 out of 6 so far. I think they've drawn Enfield in the next round of the FA Youth Cup here, so another little local derby for them to look forward to, and they'll learn from that. You know, it's very good having a first team manager that is also the academy director, because it means that he knows what they've got, he knows the lads that he's got coming through, and it means the first team dressing room door isn't shut, which it is at a lot of clubs.
The under-18s got to play on the stunning new Meadow Park pitch as well, didn't they, the other night?
Yeah, that was something that ourselves and Arsenal had discussed, and it's only correct. You know, this isn't an elite club. You know, the 18s, you know, deserve to go and play on that pitch. It is a stunning pitch, but but they're part of a club that cares, and it shows. And again, you know, they get the chance to go and apply their trade on it and see you know, see where they're going with it. And as I say, you know, they got their win against Hendon, and you know, we've got home draw in the next round, so they get to go and do it all over again.
What are your thoughts on the continued partnership with Arsenal and the improvements to the pitch?
Well, I've looked after Arsenal for 18 years, so my thoughts on it are, you know, it's been a partnership that improves and improves and improves. It's a bit like a marriage. If everyone works at it, then it lasts. If one partner doesn't work at it or takes the other one for granted, then invariably things fall down. And again, I think you know, everything from Mr. Wenger and Ivan Gazidis and Trevor Savin and a few of the others. At the Arsenal, as I say, the relationship couldn't be stronger. We've entered a new 10-year contract with them, and we'll look to keep planning for the future. You know, there's a possible new stand we might want to build, and if we do, it'll be important that there's an input from them, because no doubt they're going to want stunning changing rooms, etc. within it. But you know, again, that's my baby. That's what I've got to put together, and we'll see where that takes us.
You mentioned the new stands there. Whereabouts are we with that?
Where are we with it? You know, the exterior designs are done. There's a lot of talk with the local council that needs to take place with local residents, local councillors, the officers at the council. We've got our partners at Barnet and Southgate College to take into consideration, Arsenal of course, but it's not something that we can rush. You know, I'm not one to rush to make a wrong decision. We've also, you know, there's discussion points with the local residents and everyone else as well to make sure that if we're going to produce something, it's a facility that works for everybody. And we're probably 18 months away, in all fairness, of being able to begin it, and that's if we get everybody's agreement. So we'll see where it takes us.
In terms of the first team, who have just drawn 1-1 with Halifax, it's been a steady start to the season, hasn't it?
I think it's been more than steady. I think Leah tell you, last time I stood here, I think a few years ago, might have been Southport, and we've been written off as relegation fodder, 3 or 4 games to go. And I remember telling everyone then, you know, we'll stay up, and so I think it's more than a steady start. Today we've started well, gone a goal up, and then conceded late. At one stage, you know, we'd have been sitting there 5th or 6th tonight instead of 11th. So what are we, 5-6 points behind the leaders? So a little bit more than steady, but it could have been so much better. And I think the players understand that, the manager understands that. But again, the first job is to ensure that we don't get relegated and we know where we are in the scheme of things. And I think that puts us 10 points above the relegation spots this evening. So let's deal with that part of the business first, and then see if we can go and tweak a few noses and see if we can, make a real go of going for the playoffs. It's top 7 this year, and we're more than capable. You know, if we stay level-headed, you know, I'll find a couple of bob to keep the budget in moving forward, and we'll see where that takes us.
So it's a bit of a new look side, but bringing in players like Dan Holman and Dean Wells were real signs of intent, weren't they?
Yeah. Again, with Dan Holman's come out the blue really. It was a loan deal. In terms of Dean Wells, I mean, you know, Dean's here for 2 years. Kieran Murtaugh's here for 2 years. I mean, Tom Champion. They're more to me signings of intent, because what they're saying is that's where we're going to build. You know, we may start, as I say, I think we were probably most people's favourites for relegation, possibly back in July and August. We don't see things like that. We like being the underdog. Dan Holman, as I say, bringing Dan Holman here, Blair Turgott here on loan. They're short-term signings that we hope can spark, and not just for us, it's about them sparking their own careers. They're here for a reason. They understand that. You know, they've got to be here and making sure they cement a starting place in the starting 11. But we've got good players. We haven't got a big squad, but from 1 to 17, you know, I'd say we're pretty strong. We've got some fantastic youngsters. We've got young Bradley Sack out and Frank Cater out at Potters Bar. I think possibly Brad's. I think he's got 2 goals in 3 games over there. So across the board we're decent. We brought young Kane Smith in, who's now in the England C Shadow training squad, I think. We found Grant Smith, brought him here from Bognor, and he's now very established boy now at this level as a keeper. And then you've got your players here that need to be mentioned. Dave Stevens, he's a colossal player at this level. Mark Ricketts, Bruno Andrade, these were all with us, and so we've got quality that I believe will sustain us going into the winter months, and will give us a real chance at the playoffs. But we've got to stop dropping silly points. Today wasn't dropping a silly point. Halifax more than deserved their point today. We've had a goal chalked off offside. They've had one chalked off offside. But on the balance of play, they more than deserved a point today. They didn't come in and nick one. They more than deserve one.
But as you're saying, as the future goes on, we'll continue to be built from the bottom up, won't we?
Well, we have to. Without crowds, you can't build a club from the top down with crowds of 500 or 600. You just can't do that. But I've always understood that. People have got to understand. I mean, I'm not that unhappy with the crowds. I mean, when I came here, we was probably averaging 120. We're now averaging 700 or 800, I think. And today was 562. So, as I've always said, there's no point keep talking about what we haven't got. If we talk about what we have got, we've got a stunning training facility that I built in the summer. We've got an Emirates pitch, which the boys love playing on. The floodlights give them a 500 lux reading, which is Premiership level. So there's lots and lots, which I think is really good. I think the medical staff here are fantastic. The catering staff are amazing. The kit staff. So people judge us on our crowds, which is fine. And any success we have, they'll point and say it's Arsenal's success, but or we only get it through the Arsenal. And I'm all right with that. It means they leave me alone.
We've got the FA Cup draw next Saturday against our local rivals, St Albans. What are your thoughts on this?
It's a cracker. No, I mean, everyone's aware. I mean, it's a club my father managed both clubs. He managed here and he also managed up there for a short time. My old manager is the gaffer up there, Ian Allinson. We're still good friends. We still often go out with the wives and partners. So, no, I'm really looking forward to it. It's got everything a cup tie would want. You've got two local rivals. I think they've gone and beat Bath today 2-0. I think they're sitting there joint top of the division below. We're away from home. They'll have a big crowd behind them. We'll have a couple of hundred following us, I'm sure, and I'm sure it's a cup tie that everyone can get involved in, and and whoever's in the hat come next Saturday night, I'm comfortable with either way. But it's not that I'm unconfident, but again, it's a cup tie, and we all know in the cups anything can happen. I've been in football too long to budget for cup runs or to. But we've got a good side. I mean, Ian was sitting at the side of me on Tuesday night when we've beaten Eastleigh, and he knows what we've got. He knows what we've got in our armoury. We won't go there and fear him. The pitch will no doubt be a little bit long over there. So if their groundsman's listening to this, hopefully he'll cut it a little bit shorter, and that'll annoy him. And as I say, I fully expect us to be in the outcome next Saturday night, whether that means we've brought them back here in a replay or finished them off on the day. But again, it's great for the local supporters. The support. I've got a lot of family who live in St Albans. It's a fantastic town, and but we're going there to put them out the cup.
And finally, Chairman, what is your message to supporters?
Get on the trains, get in your cars, get on the minibuses, get yourself over there, have a fantastic day. Don't do anything that you'll regret in the morning, and have a wonderful time, and hopefully we can do you proud. And that's what football is, that's what cup football is, and that's what local football is. And it'll be a fantastic atmosphere, I can assure you of that.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.